All right. What's going on? Hi, everybody. Welcome. We made it to another week to my Mayhem Streamcast. So excited. All right. Welcome. Hola. Hola, hola. I'm here to kick off another week. I hope everyone's doing great, had a great weekend, feeling refreshed. I am your host, DJ, visual descriptor. I'm a Latina, brunette with silver hair. I'm forgetting what I look like. With olive skin, I have brown eyes and a big smile with red lipstick today. And I'm wearing green top. And I'm sitting in my little corner of the house with my positive affirmations background. So welcome, everyone. If you're new, hi, welcome. Please like, subscribe, support my work or my channels. I'm streaming to LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram. No, not Instagram. Why do I always say that? Facebook. And it's good to be back. It's good to be here. Last week, I took a break from my Monday night, and we did the 24-hour stream for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, which was a really great experience. And we're still raising funds. It's a philanthropic competition for the next 10 weeks where we're raising money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So that was really great. And we're going to continue. So you'll hear more about that as the weeks come along. You'll still be seeing some promotions about that. Really want to hope that you can support that. But tonight we are here with a totally different purpose and a totally different cause. And I'm so excited. Tonight, my show is being powered by Restream. So thank you again to Restream. And my hearts go out to all the workers' families, those affected in the Ukraine, and all the just everything that's going on there with the chaos. So, but we are here another week. I'm so excited to share powerful stories and experiences to destigmatize and normalize issues in mental health, disability related to trauma. This is a place that I like to create for our mayhem so we can create opportunities through connection and encourage acceptance. Always include a trigger warning, at least usually I do, that we may discuss things that are a little difficult and mature in nature. And these are our opinions, our experiences. So please just consider that. All right, folks, we're coming up. It's already the end of almost the first quarter in March. And I'm so excited because it's kidney awareness. And that's why we're here. We're talking about something really, really important. And someone that has a podcast on it and an organization, amazing. So I can't wait to talk about that. Gosh, where do I start with this? An amazing guest, Anthony Reed. He's the CEO from kidneytrails.com. He's a master kidney coach, speaker, podcaster. He's also an author. Talk about all these wonderful things he's doing. He's a former dialysis patient as living with a kidney transplant, and he knows what it takes not only to live with kidney disease, but also to live beyond kidney disease. He's here to share his stories and everything he's learned as he continues to assist others with his coaching as they explore what he's already experienced. And he continues to assist others through his journey. So let me go ahead and bring out our amazing friend, Anthony. Bring him out here. What's up? Let's welcome you, chat. Well, let's say hi to Anthony. Anthony, let's say hi to our chat and get comfortable. I'm so excited to talk to you today, as we're here talking about kidney awareness. And it's a big month, I'm sure, for your organization and for your business. And it's just got lots of wonderful things. And I know before the show started, you were talking about a post you put up today about some great news. So I can't wait to hear all about it. We need more podcasts that are really sharing experiences and information like yours. So thank you again. And I commend you for the hard work that you do and really being a voice in that space. So, all right, chat, we're here. Hi, chat. We're going to welcome Anthony. It's nice to see everybody here. Hi, Bruce. Yeah. Mackenzie, welcome. Thank you, best mod ever, bestie, for checking all my channels. Alex, amazing Alex. We love her. She loves that Kidney Trails fam. I hear so much about it. And I feel like once I've started to meet all of you and just really seeing all the amazing work you're doing, it was just, I love this bunch. The work is incredible. really the mission and how you're supporting, other families and individuals going through something that you have definitely experienced, and now really moving others forward through that. So tell us a little bit about your story, how this
Well, I'd
all.
like to. Well, thank you for having me on, DJ. This is a wonderful honor and opportunity to be here with you and your audience. Just a really, really quick backstory about who I am and a little bit about KT. Um, And so my story starts off in December 1990. It's when I was adopted from Guatemala City, Guatemala, and brought over by two wonderful parents to the U.S. to be raised as one of their own. And I think that's something wonderful when somebody else's takes a child and brings it into their home. Not only gives it the clothes, food, and shelter, but gives them their love. It gives them their family, everything that they have. They give to this child. I'm ever grateful for that. But not only did they do that, but they also gave me an opportunity, and they did not realize that later on down the road that I would need. Uh, I, it would be a huge life changing experience by me being brought over here, because at age 18 I ended up having a stroke due to high blood pressure. Most people, they know high blood pressure's, was it like 220 over 180, something like that. When I had my stroke, I was 320 over 280. I was blowing up blood pressure records. Not a very good thing to do. I don't recommend anybody doing it that way. But had a stroke due to blood pressure. I decided to be. I was 18 years old, so let's just get on with life. Let's go on, get the meds, go on. That's what we did for about a year or so, and then the meds decided to go in the trash because I didn't like taking meds. A few years later, they caught up to me and found out I was diagnosed with end-stage renal disease. I also had basically it all started where I couldn't see. I was legally blind in my right eye, almost legally blind in my left eye. And not long after that, I was diagnosed with end-stage renal disease, kidney disease, within a few weeks after that, and ended up starting dialysis a few days later, which is a lot of changes in life, a lot of things happening all at one time, and it's really hard
Yeah.
to comprehend all that when you got all these different things coming at you. But thankfully, we made it through, and then 4 years later, we ended up getting a kidney transplant from a donor, which I'm very grateful, ever grateful for that. And then now we're here. Along the way,
Wow.
there's little things in here in the between. We started KT or Kidney Trails in 2020, and now we're here.
Wow, what a way to sum up that little story. I mean, you just make it seem like, but that's a lot. Like that, this is, make it seem like so summed up into a nutshell. So, I mean, we're going to explore this a lot more deeper, and I'm excited to understand a lot more about kidney disease, and then end stage uh, renal.
Right, end-stage
So,
renal disease. Yes.
yeah. So understanding some of those terms, because those are fundamental and basic for this conversation, and for people to understand what that means and what your body's doing. And a lot of people don't understand like how serious this is. So
Yeah. and,
yeah.
and how much it affects people. That's the other thing too.
Yes, absolutely.
I think of the
Okay.
numbers. They say out of 10 people, if 10 people in the room, 8 out of those 10 more than likely have kidney disease of some sort in some way. It could be the start of it, which would be stage 1, all the way to stage 5, which would be the end stage, meaning it could be generally end stage. There's really just two options. Well, the three options. Two options. One option would be don't do anything at all, and the grave is your option. Dialysis, and potentially a kidney transplant. So those are kind of your options when you're in that fifth stage. More often than not, people actually, um, once they get diagnosed with stage 5,
Mhm.
dialysis is that life life saving treatment that will help them and extend their life. And so that's the route I decided to go. I figured that was better to me be on the chair than me being under 6 foot under the ground.
Right, right. And it's, yeah, I mean, I've met individuals that have been on dialysis. I've met and worked with individuals that have received um kidney transplants, and just, I know there's different treatments in there and different, like, so it's just a lot. And I think people have heard the word dialysis, but they don't really understand what that means, really, how that's life changing, serious that is, what that really entails, right? Like and I think Philip, thank you for hanging out and being here
Yeah.
today, because I know he talked about that yesterday when we were talking a little bit about that, and just um how it takes a toll on you, right? Like, and you already just said it, on mentally, psychologically, just, so those options are huge, like huge decisions.
Yeah.
And they're not easy decisions, they're not delicate decisions.
No.
So do you where the best definition, like, for kidney disease, and what kind of organization do you recommend to really give you kind of more information that, is like an association that helps with like understanding like kidney disease? And
Far as the medical aspect of what kidney disease is,
right, just generic,
okay.
yes, general
Yeah.
medical information
So
that I think.
right. And so the two
See,
things I would say is National Kidney Foundation or
okay,
the American Association of Kidney Patients. Both of those have great medical information. The thing
resources
is,
and okay,
resources, right? With what we do with kidney trails, we don't do a lot of the medical because for me,
right,
I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nurse, so I don't want to
mm-hmm,
be a unqualified person talking about qualified material. That doesn't mean I can't
right,
speak on my experiences and the lessons I've learned. Those are also extremely
correct.
important. But to understand it, I would go to the National Kidney Foundations or one of those other organizations, like I said, the American Association of Kidney Patients as well. And I think there's others,
Wonderful.
American Kidney Fund. There's just a lot of different ones out there that have great information.
Great, great. Thank you. That's what I wanted to clarify. I just want to make sure that people understand there's other resources that really provide those types of medical information, and really can give you better definition of with what specifically this is, right? Like when we say what dialysis is and what that entails. So yes, there are lots of other organizations, or when we talk about kidney transplant.
Right.
I'm just learning as we go. But yeah, it really is, I know that we're here to talk about this. We want to talk about like care and offering support, right? As individuals are going through this like really difficult time. It can just be so lonely and isolating. And
Yeah.
we talked a little bit about this yesterday, was about just kind of how go ahead.
It's one of those things, when you're first diagnosed, there's so much going on, and I think
Yeah,
about my time, my mind goes back to that time. And actually, when I was diagnosed in
please.
the ER, I was diagnosed in the emergency room, and my mother was there. And I think that was probably the hardest part for me is seeing my mother and the look on her face. I mean, one of the thoughts I wondered if she had was, uh, is all this that we did to adopt for naught? Is he going to be just a memory? Thankfully, that wasn't the case.
Right.
Thankfully, there's treatment, but it's one of those things. And as a son, seeing my mother go through that, and I go back to the story a lot of times that one day I was walking the hall after I'd started dialysis and was walking down the hallway, and I remember hearing my mother in her room sobbing and praying out and crying out for help of some kind, something to change, because she didn't, as any parent, I'm a parent myself, I would hate to see my child go through something like that. And I could just feel it. So it really does have an
Yeah.
effect. It doesn't just affect the individual. In fact, I would say, it does affect the individual to a certain extent, but sometimes it affects the family in more ways than what people see and even feel, because a lot of times you know, people are concentrated on the individual that's diagnosed, but the families are kind of, what do we do? How do we fit into this? What can we do to help?
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Right. I mean, it's just so much for everyone involved. So glad you make a good point to that. All right. Let's say hi to the chat. I know they've got a lot of amazing people here. Gabe, thank you for
I see
hanging
that.
out. Juana,
Thanks
thank
for
you for
hanging out, Gabe.
hanging out. Bruce, you're still hanging out. Bruce has got a question. Let's go to Bruce's question. What is the most common misbelief of the conditions? That's a good question, Bruce. Thank you for that.
It is a good question. What is the most common misbeliefs of the condition? I mean,
Yeah,
the
I
thing
would say
is,
misconceptions, or just people just
yeah.
yeah. Again, maybe it has to do with
Well,
breaking the
one
stigmas when people just assume,
yeah. One of the things that I've heard, and I never really experienced it, but I've heard people say it, is it catching? Well, kidney disease is not catching. Thankfully, it's not catching. People can be around me, they're not going to catch kidney disease, which is a misconception that a lot of people have about it. And it's not, it's just a misunderstanding of
So
what it
sad.
is. Basically, you have your kidneys, and they're a filter. They're filtering out everything in your body, the bad stuff, and keeping the good stuff in. And those filters eventually, they might wear out. With me, it wore out, and come to find out with mine is I have a hereditary disease. Now think about this: I have what's called a horseshoe kidney. A horseshoe kidneys, basically during the pregnancy period, the kidneys do not separate, so it's just one big kidney. That can affect your blood pressure, which ends up uh, could cause, if not taking care of, kidney disease, as I'm an example of. Of course, if I had listened to the doctor and learned the lesson the first time, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, which I don't regret it.
Wow. That's something I didn't even realize that there was like that connection. But again, I don't like you, I'm not from medical and I really don't have a clear understanding. So that's really, if you have high blood pressure, take care of it, right? I mean, it
Right.
can lead to some serious stuff like kidney disease. All right, Bruce, let's see. Anthony Reed, you're doing and looking amazing over there. Had the joy of being with an awesome Dwellin Williams. I can't wait to have him. We're talking about diabetes soon. Um, Last Thursday night. Keep up the great work. I know, I love it. And then Gabe also made a comment about diabetes, and I talk about this because it runs in my family.
Hmm.
But I don't. My father had diabetes and spent his last 10 years of life on dialysis. 10 years.
Yeah.
Oof. Thank you for sharing that,
Yeah.
Gabe. Thanks for
Thanks for
hanging
sharing that,
out.
Gabe.
Thank you. I'm sure that probably affected you as a son and having to being on the support side, right? And like having a parent. So how it affects. One of my older brothers went through dialysis, which is not easy, and then
Mhm.
a donor kidney transplant. Thank you, Rosemary. Oh, Rosemary, we love you. Thank you for always tuning in and being such a great supporter of these
Yeah.
shows, these conversations. It's tough to see someone you love to go through having to rely on those machines to live. So true.
Yeah.
That's the seriousness of dialysis. And it's 2 to 3 times a week, right? I mean, you've got to be
Uh,
going
yeah. It depends on what
minimum.
type of modality that somebody
Depends.
picks. In center is 3 times a week, and it's
Yeah.
4 hours of treatment. And
Yeah.
so I would challenge your audience. You think 4 hours of treatment, we just go in and get it done 3 days. It's about 12 hours a week. But think about it this way: you go into some place and you sit in a chair for 4 hours. You don't get up. You can't get up. You can't get up to go to the restroom or go get a drink of water. You're just stuck in there for four hours. What do you do? And now this kind of ties into the mental health aspect of what happens. I can tell you, sitting in a chair for 4 hours can wear and tear on this mind, and it will if you allow it. And that's where uh, you can see a lot of things happen, like depression and things like that, starting to overtake some. I've shared it many times. There was sometimes that when I was back in the day, somebody would walk through the door and I knew immediately that person had given up, and it wasn't long, and then we didn't see him anymore. It just takes a mental toll. You think about it; it's not a very positive place to be in. And thankfully, like we said, we've got it. But you think about you got the machines, the beeping, and I've explained this in one of my blogs, beeping of the machines, the nurses running here and there, and all these other different things happening. It's not a very encouraging scenario,
Yeah, it's not
but
the
thankful.
relaxing. It's not yeah, I mean, I can imagine how it does take a toll on what you're experiencing and just because you know why you're there, right? Like understanding why you're there and just it's definitely got to affect you so much. Juana, thank you for a good question. Okay, if you
Yeah.
have both kidneys. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you going to say something, Anthony?
No, no, no. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, okay. So if you have both kidneys, can you donate one of your kidneys? And would your quality of life be affected in having one kidney? I love this question. I'm an organ donor on my driver's license. So I would assume if something happened to me, my organs, a kidney would possibly be given, right, as some sort of organ that can be for someone
Yeah.
else.
I
But I don't
mean,
know how it goes. I don't really know. So that's a great question. Let's talk a little
yeah.
bit about that.
Okay. So there was a quote that I saw. It said, "Don't leave here with your organs. Heaven knows we need them." So,
Okay.
and the other
Yes.
good thing about that is, you can there's been multiple people that live on one kidney. And a lot of times they don't know until, they find something out. But you can do that. They've got a couple different options for donation. They've got deceased donor and then they got living donor. So somebody can actually, donate one of their kidneys. You just need one kidney to be able to function. And the quality of life generally is the same. I mean, you don't really see, anything anything different. I'll say this about someone that's done living donation or has actually donated. It was something I was speaking to a group of people probably a couple weeks ago. I can't remember,
Hmm.
January actually, and I said this. It says something about someone when they're willing to give a part of them to make someone else whole. And you think about that, and that's what kind of happened in my scenario. Thanks for that great question. And the portion of this, when it comes down to my story of actually getting, there's a lot into there, but I'm going to jump a little bit up until where I was
Okay.
actually donated. Somebody offered. So it was 2016, and the start of 2016, things were going great. But 2016 also had some news that really affected me. In fact, I just wrote part of it not too long ago in a blog. I can't remember the name of it. That's pretty bad. But basically, talking about um, what it was like to receive some pretty horrific news. And basically, what was going on is I let loose on my diet. Now, the renal diet is very important for someone that has on dialysis. There's certain things you can or
Yes.
cannot eat. Now, I'm not a dietitian. I just know what I followed back then. I know things have changed. But I got a little too free with one of mine and it made one of my levels go extremely high. With that level going extremely high, it can cause some really negative effects in your body. And what I was told is if something didn't change with my levels, because they check your lab work just like you would go in with your PCP and get your lab work checked, you would end up you would see this level go high, and what would end up happening is you would get this disease, and eventually it could eventually be your detriment, your demise. And I was told if something didn't change within 6 months, I would more than likely go into this disease and have a very slow and painful death. Now think about that when somebody says that to you, what happens? Immediately, my mind immediately said, "You've got 6 months to live, and that's it." Think about that. I was just married. I had just been married a little over a year. So I have a new wife at home. I'm trying, we're we're having a great life, and then this hits. And when that hits, I remember going out to the truck after talk to the staff, joked around it. Though I did start looking in what can I do to make this level on my own drop along with the medication they gave me. I remember going out to the truck and the overwhelming emotions came over me. And that's when I reached my hand on the steering wheel and I broke. When I broke every which way somebody could break mentally, physically, uh, spiritually, emotionally, and driving home, tears streaming down my face because all I heard was 6 months to live. But really, in all reality, who says what time do we have to live? No, none of us know. And so after all that, we were making our way through that. Thankfully, things did turn around. We got on the right track, and I remember coming to the point and saying, you know what, life is going to go with me or without me. I can choose on what I wanted to do. And so I started going with it. So that was a really difficult time. Well, around that time, unbeknownst to me, somebody started to feel the call. I call it the call to donate their kidney to me. And I ended up throwing myself a birthday party. I called my wife and said, "Hey, hon, I'm going to throw myself a birthday party. I want this, this, and this person there and all these." She goes, "Honey, you're just conceited. Why throw yourself your own birthday party? I mean, come on, you know?" What she didn't know was the news that I had been given months ago, back in the spring, and here it's August. We had the party, had a wonderful time, and my cousin and I were actually in my music room playing some music. It was some kind of Disney stuff. I have no clue. Um, but we were playing, and my brother-in-law's wife came in. Let's asked us to play something we did, and she goes, "I want to talk to you. I want to. I've been feeling this since springtime, and I just got this burden to give you my kidney. I'm O positive, and I'm an O positive blood type. And one thing, just real quick side note,
Hmm.
us O
Please.
positive people, we can give all day and every day. People can take from us. We can only receive from O's. So it makes our wait time a lot longer. I was told 5 to 9 years wait time. and that was normal. It's because O's, we love to give, but to receive, it's, we take that into consideration. It's better to give than receive, but sometimes like I'd like to receive a little bit too.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
she said, I'm O positive, you're O positive. We're gonna make this work. Just in the nick of time, that news came. Of course, we got everything together, they started the process. All during that time, we found out 2 weeks later that we were expecting our first child. We out of the blue. So many things were going on, and
Lots of
thankfully,
emotions.
yeah, a lot of emotions. But what ended up happening, we had our transplant April 13th, 2017, which I'm coming up on my 5-year anniversary,
I was just gonna
kidney
say,
anniversary. Yeah,
yeah.
and everything went wonderfully well, exceedingly great. And if it got any better, I would have danced, but they would have probably pushed me back in bed. So we things went really well. Both donor and donee both did very well. We both did very well, and still doing very well to this day. I know that's kind of a long
It's
answer, but
great. Oh no, take your the story's great. It's really important. So many good nuggets of information in that and things that should kind of get people's minds going. So for me, I'm not O. I already know that. So and then Alex says O negative, so I guess she must be in there. But I guess this is important. I mean, like so many things that you should kind of takeaways right there, right? Like knowing
yeah,
your blood and really understanding and how it affects your family and your children's blood, and really like how this could just impact a family, or how maybe now you can help and someone else, because now if you've got that O negative or the different bloods. And
yeah. There's
I'm
just a lot
just
of things.
learning. It is a lot of things. Alex, you're a nurse, soon to be doctor. I can't wait. You're gonna have to give us some education on this too. I know she's got all kinds of, but yeah, it's truly, yeah, miracles happen all the time. I mean, that story, just having that loved one reach out and have that feeling. And I haven't had anyone that I've known that's really on the waiting list or waiting for a kidney transplant. I wouldn't even know how to go about checking or putting myself as a living donor, as you identified. So even knowing that's like amazing information, like understanding how you can be a living donor, right? Not waiting till after you've passed. Um, and how it really, you just, when you see dialysis, when you think of kidney, when you think of kidney disease, when you think of kidney transplant recipients, it's just, how much of a story and a really outlet that entails is so much. So it's really, thank you for sharing your story and your journey, and really like now this is really what pushes your kidney trails, right? Like all this experience and all this, what's it
Yes.
doing? How are you transforming it? How are you putting it out there?
Well, this kidney trails actually started in 2014, but it
Okay.
was nothing out there.
Okay.
2015, nothing was out there. 16, it started in my mind. It started
Right.
when I was actually setting on dialysis, and I remember looking for information. The information I was looking for wasn't the medical stuff, because for me, I had the medical stuff right up there. My medical care team, they could tell me what I wanted to know or what I needed to know. So what I was looking for was life's lessons. I was
Mm,
looking for the Jim Rohns and the Les Browns and the Zig Ziglars and those different people bringing up lessons. They have faced dialysis. Maybe they have lessons they learned, because everything in life, there's lessons to be learned. That's why life is here, is to teach us, so we can move up, but we can move on, we can be better, we can impact more people. That's what it's put here for. So that's what I was looking for, and I found nothing. I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find, and it was those things that helped me through. That when I was on dialysis, I think about the speech "It's Possible" from Les Brown, a wonderful speech. It helped me so much during so many, during those hard times, during those times when I would. And if there's any dialysis personnel watching this, don't I know I probably shouldn't have done it, but there was times I'd put my head under the blanket. That's a no-no, just to let the tears out. But I've listened to that stuff, that the good, the clean, the powerful, the positive things that uplift me. so that way I could, do better. It's not only that, but it was also those
Yes.
kidney coaches and those individuals that are seatmates that actually coached me, and they weren't giving me like, well, we need to check, look at your this level, look at this level. It was more like,
Right.
hey, Anthony, when you get up in the morning, put your feet on the floor and say, I'm greatly blessed and highly favored. Hey, Anthony, you could be in a lot worse situation, and here's how. Look at the situation you're in now. It's better than you could have imagined. Think about, we couldn't have treatment. Hey, Anthony, keep your mindset in a positive way. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough, but you're going to have to
Yes.
pull a lot of negative weeds. But you got to keep those positive seeds growing. And so it was those that helped me, and that's what gave me the call, is what I call it. So the
Mhm.
calling of life, saying, hey, and I remember sitting there and I was like, well, why isn't anything out there? It's like life came down, sit down beside me on my chair and said, because you're the one to do it. And so that's when Kidney Trail started to be formed. Now, like I said, 15, 16, 17 didn't really happen. 18, I tried to start something under something different, never panned out. I failed at it, utterly failed at it, horribly, because I didn't even launch it. I had the website built, but I never launched it. And then the same thing happened again. I said, well, let me try it again. The second time, it didn't happen. So here comes 2020 around. Now, during this time, I had a lot of speaking engagements. I had about 9 to 10 speaking engagements for the year all across the nation. And of course, COVID hit, and it's like, okay, now what do we do? How can I get this story? How can I get those lessons out there? How can I share this life's lessons to help somebody else in the same scenario? Or maybe they're in a different scenario, but they can take from it and glean from it and apply it. And so that's when Kidney Trails actually finally came out, and it was born, not only the website, but it started a blog. And I'll tell you, when I first started a blog, I was not a writer. I was a better speaker than I was a writer, by far. It's like, why would I want to be a writer? I'm a speaker. That's what I do. That's why I go out and speak and all this stuff. But I was like, well, I just felt, well, let me try it. So I did. And it's grown from a personal blog, is what it started out with, to now we have multiple guest authors and authors. We have the broadcasting network, which does our live streams, our podcast, some of our video stuff. They're going to actually be helping us. The KTB is actually going to be helping with the virtual summit that's coming up in April. And then we have the publishing company too, because it's a publishing company, and it's for those that may have kidney disease or just want to publish your books, to give them an option out there, especially those with kidney diseases. I think if somebody is on dialysis, they're able to work with somebody that's been there, and they can start
Right.
coaching the process.
Whew. So many good things. So many good things. Okay. This is a good place because we're at the 30-minute mark, and I'm just trying to be a little bit more structured in my show. So, okay. So far, so good. Thank you, everyone that's been hanging out. Anthony, you've said some good stuff here. So we're going to go back to this. I love how you talked about the master coach and really like the mindset. And that's something that we touched on yesterday when I was talking with Philip and them on the show, which was really great and really important and really powerful. Let's see. Do I have anything? I just wanted, take a second, I guess, to give props to PodFest and VidFest, and I want to thank them for supporting this show. And if anyone's going to be coming out to the conference in May, please let me know. Let's see. Oh, wait, that's the back, huh? Let's see. Do I have a front one? Let's see. Right here. You can use 20% off PodFest, VidFest tickets. You can use my promo code SilverFoxTalks. Their tickets are sold on Eventbrite, so we will be out there talking about all kinds of wonderful things when it comes to podcasting and video. Woo, woo, woo. How did I do? Was that good? Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
All right. Let's keep it going. We'll leave it like this. Okay. I want to go back to this coaching and mindset, because that's important. And really, with my show coming up from this space of advocacy, wanting to wanting individuals to understand how mindset is important and how our kindness and our compassion really can make an impact. You said something already that triggered yesterday's conversation about like for today, living for today, for not look at your face. Well, just this stems from yesterday's conversation on how we have to embrace the moment, show gratitude now, right? Work through what you're going through right now, and just trying to find your way and stay positive and just kind of get through those hard moments to get to the lighter moments. So I think that's what I'm saying when I'm trying to tie it all with mindset and the coaching and really what that is and how important that is for individuals that are kind of can get the medical information somewhere else. Right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. And you're like what you're doing and how you do have a team, you know, you have other coaches, you have contributing writers now, and how it's really expanded and grown because there is such a need and there is such an important purpose. So um, I want to know a little bit more about what that's doing and really how you continue to push it and help others and how it can be a resource for others.
Well, I mean, it's going really well. You know, we have some other guest authors coming up sharing their experiences, and any
Yeah.
of our guest authors, when I talk to them, you know, that want to be a guest author, said the thing is, we're looking for life's lessons. Okay, we're looking for
Hmm.
something that will teach. I don't want to be I gotta be careful how I say this, but I don't want to be a useless book on the bookshelf. I
Hmm.
want it to be a book that somebody can grab and take it no matter whatever stage in life they're at. Yes, we do more. We are, you know, sharing people's lessons with in dialysis and transplant and things like that.
Hmm.
You know, like one of the lessons is like kind of what I went back to the first time. If you don't learn a lesson the first time, you're bound to repeat it, and more than likely, it's going to be worse the second time than it is the first time. You know, that's a really great lesson that I learned the hard way. I'd rather people not learn that the hard way. I'd rather them learn it the easy way by saying, "Hey, look, you know, Anthony is saying this message, beware. Let me beware of that." You know, so you know, with those type of lessons, and then you're going into the mindset of things with some of the different things. Like I was mentioning, some of the things I learned from that was from the Zig Ziglars and from the Jim Rohns and from those teachers. You know, that would teach. I would listen and take a little bit from here and little bit from there, and all these different things to apply it to our lives. That's what it's there for. It's there to make us grow. It's kind of like I think about it this way: your mind is a garden. Okay, so if it's a garden, what you're planting in this garden is going to produce either fruit or weeds. If you're planting good things, it's going to bear fruit. Now, the kicker about that is we live in a negative world. How do we live in a negative world? You pick up this right here, the cell phone, and within just seconds, you can have negative things coming right to you, feeding that mind. So if you're thinking you're putting negative things in your mind and you're in a negative place anyhow, you're not going to end up very well. So you have to be careful with what you put in your mind. You got to put good things. You'll have to pull the weeds more often than not anymore. You'll have to water those good things, those positive things in life to help you to be able to grow them so that you can bear fruit for either later on down the road, because there's going to be times in life, there's going to be those famine times in life that you're going to need to pull out from your storehouse to apply it to your life so you can use it. I don't know how many times I had to do that. You know, the funny thing about all that is I started learning that stuff back at age 16 with my uncle. He's a plumber, and so at age 16, family business, I would ride with him. He put these CDs on and stuff. I'd be like, really? I just want to listen to my music. This isn't cool at all. You know,
Right.
I'm just not digging this. Let's, you know, but 16, 17, 18, he was planting good seeds. He was helping, he was cultivating it, which helped me later on down the road. We
Oh
didn't
yeah.
realize it, but at age 22, diagnosed with end stage renal disease in dialysis. A few days later, I needed that. I needed the Zig Ziglars to say, "You were born to win." I needed the Les Browns to say, "Hey, it's possible that I can have my dream." That dream at the time was, "Let me get out of here and get a transplant. Let the kidney, whatever happens, I just want out." It's possible that I can have that dream. I needed those things to help me and started utilizing them and putting them in my life. So you put the good things in your mind, work on getting those negative things out, even if it's just one or two extra negative thoughts you can pull away. It will help you in so much.
Yeah. That's great. Sounds like you definitely understand and can help so many with that as you've been through that and you've spent so much I mean young. I mean this started very young in your life. So and I don't know how old you are and you don't have to like really share how old you are, but just all those years of experience that really amount to so much as you can help others with their mindset. And that's just something that can be so lonely, and it's hard to get yourself out of there, and you need someone on the outside to kind of help you and kind of pull you through sometimes. I do want to go back to your virtual summit as well, and talking about your Kidney Trails virtual summit that's coming up in April, and talking a little bit about what that's about, what kind of information. It's virtual, and so what's going to be happening there?
Okay, so the team and I are really, really excited. We've been working on this since fall time of last year, and it's
Okay,
been a dream of mine to do since I don't know.
let's see.
It's been a
Got a
while.
website here.
Yeah, it's the thing is, I wanted to be more than just a kidney conference or a kidney
Okay.
summit. Let's learn about the medical. No, 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 no. Let's bring to light those lessons, and we've got some phenomenal speakers coming up. We got the Trevinos coming up, Sam and Lacey Trevino. They're going to be speaking, wonderful speakers, some of the best in the renal industry, as far as motivational, encouragement, inspirational, and lessons, giving lessons to you to take with you. Phenomenal. We've got Cindy Flores, who's coming in. She's a YouTuber. Has had a just her journey. Her journey in itself is just inspiring. We've got Fred Hill.
Oh,
He'll
let
be
me see
there.
the webpage up for you. Let's
Oh, you're
see.
good.
Yeah.
We've got Alexander. Alex will be a moderator. Philip's going to be there. He's going to be a moderator as well. We've got Wills Porter. We've just got a lot of great quality content. And then we've got that's the 27th and 28th. The 29th, we are having uh, some very special people coming on from the LinkedIn community. That's going to be bringing more of the business, the nonprofit aspect. In fact, you might know
Awesome.
some of the names like Bruce, the guy in the blue shirt. I think he's
Yeah.
going to be there.
All right,
We'll have,
Bruce.
yeah, Tim Jackson. He's going to be there bringing on content creation. And then Tisha Hammond. She's going to be there speaking
Yeah,
as well. So we're just going to have,
she's
it's
great.
more of a, because I see a lot of nonprofits starting. I see a lot of businesses starting in the renal, for advocacy and stuff. But I want people to know exactly how to do it right. I don't want them just to do it and give them some information. Say, hey, if you do this and this and this, it might help you along the way. It might help you build your business. I'm here to help other people
Yeah,
grow. I'm not
that's
here just to make, while we're growing, here to help others grow too, to go further than they ever thought they could go.
yeah. Wow. So sounds like it's going to be a big event. Is this your first conference?
Yes.
And it's virtual. And so people can check out your website. Let's see. I'm going to show kidneytrails.com/KT summit 22 / it's on your website, kidneytrails.com. I'm seeing a list of amazing speakers there. I saw Krista Samimi. She was a guest of mine. I love her. Carla Dunning, I'm going to be talking to her soon.
Yes.
So she's fantastic. I met Philip yesterday. That was fun chit-chatting with him. And I know Alex. So, Fred Hill, I saw him on Jonathan's show, powerhouse of a speaker. So your lineup is looking good. It's looking good. And I'm sure there's lots of amazing people I don't know. So, that's gotta be getting. When is that? April what?
April 27th, 28th, and 29th.
April 27th, 28th, and 29th. Okay. Let's see. Tickets. Got tickets available, I see. You're looking
Yes.
for sponsors or do you
Yes.
need anything?
Yes, there's sponsorships packages available. If somebody's wanting to
Awesome.
sponsor on the thing, and we welcome that. Tickets are
Yes.
on sale, and there's going to be two different ways to actually join. We've got the first one, which is it's $24.99 for the ticket. But if you type in capital T or capital K, capital T Summit, you get 10% off on that for a limit for the first 100 tickets that go out. And then we also got a way that people can actually tune in on YouTube and Facebook as well, that they'll be able to actually get it just to be able to go on there and see the event. And the reason we did that was is because I think about the time those that are in dialysis, those that are sitting there, and a lot of times those that are on dialysis aren't financially well off. So they
Yes.
need the encouragement just as much. They need it probably more than some of us do. They need to take and glean from that. So just really, just it's just that's why we did that portion too, and we're
Yeah,
extremely excited.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, consider sponsoring the summit. Contact Anthony. There's sponsorship opportunities. Just you've got some on there already, and we're looking for more. You're looking for more. So that's,
Yes.
I mean, pretty solid. I can't wait to see what comes, and this is just the first year, so I'm sure like the second year, and
Yep. Just
you've
keep
got
growing.
something amazing. Yeah, little by little, and then you start really seeing all these amazing colleagues and supporters and allies and people that really want to continue to encourage you to shine this message and share this important. And I like the way that you really highlighted there and the importance of the education, the type of information you're getting, making sure that it's quality information from reliable sources. I've been reading a lot about misinformation on the internet. I mean, that's nothing new, but with everything going virtual. So, and we want to try to keep our information as what's the word, like coming from a
Solid.
reliable source, right? Yeah. So that's why I was asking, even at the beginning, even though we're not talking about medical, but there are medical resources out there. They're very informative for those that need that information and that are looking for that type of information. And just like your organization, your business, what you're building, really what that's for, right? And have those coaches, to have those individuals that go and are with those individuals that are actually experiencing it and that want to hear, that would really benefit from having someone else that's been through it, right? I mean, I think that peer-to-peer kind of experience is always so valuable.
Right.
So it's getting good. All right, Anthony, listen, I know that we've kind of talked of lots of different bits and pieces, and I know that you're kind of on call and you're not
No,
trying
you're
to,
good. You're good.
I don't want to. So if you kind of see that we're a little bit choppy, then maybe that's why, because I want to make sure that if you need to go, you can go. But we're
You're
almost
good.
done.
You're good.
We're wrapping up this last 10 minutes here, and I want to make sure that we've kind of really plugged in any information that's really important, that we can continue to highlight the importance of kidney awareness, kidney disease, dialysis, kidney transplant. Consider being an owner, like any other extra takeaways that maybe, like, just leave us with a couple extra things that just people that are not familiar with kidney disease, and how we can just be a little bit more considerate to those families, to those.
The one thing is, think about kidney disease, it's not seen. This is something about the closest thing, and I'll try to get it on camera. Um, the closest thing that you're going to see somebody having kidney disease is this right here. Now that's my fistula. You can see it
Okay.
right there, and that's where two needles, quite large. Think of a ink pen size needles went in every treatment, so I could get my treatment. That's generally the only way you'll ever know if somebody actually has kidney disease. And you think about that. Most of us, a lot of times I would walk through, most people didn't even know I had anything. Of course, my coworkers did, because I would only go to work certain times. But even then, most people, even when they started, they didn't know. Well, you look healthy. You're young. You don't look
All
sick.
those.
Well, yeah, you're right. I don't look sick, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I
Oh
looked
my God.
well, because
That's so important right there.
yeah,
That right there is terrible.
yeah. So it's like I'm glad I didn't. But there are days with someone that has kidney disease are more tired. There are days they need to pick me up. There are the days, even something as simple. And I know lately, especially with all the mask and everything that everybody's been doing, and that's fine. I've worn my mask and stuff. It's hard to do something somebody told me one time. I was going through a really challenging time in my life, and this individual, she told me, she goes, Anthony, just keep smiling. It makes the world a better place. And think about just the power, the impact of a simple smile. What it can
Yes.
do, it can uplift the soul. It can give encouragement to the weary. It can pull somebody up out of a pit to help them to continue to go on. Something simple. It doesn't have to be whether they're on dialysis or not, right? It could be just
Hmm.
they're having a really bad day. Maybe you're going through the checkout line. Maybe you're going through the drive-through, and just a kind word, just a smile could
Hmm.
actually help uplift that person. Maybe they are complimenting something that we wouldn't want to that that wouldn't even come into somebody's mind, but they're complimenting, maybe ending it all. Maybe that smile, maybe that word of encouragement saved them from making one of the worst mistakes in their life. We don't know, but I encourage that.
I appreciate that. Right? Because again, it is. You don't know. Um, Not all things can be seen or visible. You don't know what someone else is experiencing. And those kinds of comments lead back to those stigmas that we're constantly trying to kind of break away from, right? Those kinds of comments like, oh, well, you're so young, or oh, but you look fine. So, and then really just taking action and trying to be more considerate in the things we do and the way things we say and how, we can just smile and not get so frustrated because everyone's going through so much.
I
So,
think I think there's a lot of things going on in the world that people are
yeah,
just stressed over, and I
yeah,
understand that. I get it.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
we all are feeling it. I can
yeah,
tell you the COVID really hit a lot of people mentally hard. It was hard not seeing people. It was hard, all
yeah,
that. But the good thing is we're still here, right?
yeah.
We can get how many Zoom meetings have I had since then? I don't know. How many people have I met? LinkedIn's been the best place. I've met so many people from all over the world. I was on a group the other day in
Yeah.
Scotland. That would have never happened beforehand. I would have never known about it. So, there also look for the good. What they say, the optimist looks at the glass half full.
Yeah.
But look at it half full. Don't look at it half empty.
Looking good. Looking amazing. Yeah, I mean, you're really um sharing your experiences and really bringing awareness and hope and some sort of light to these subjects, to these important um, experiences that so many of us can kind of relate to in some way. I mean, for me, and we really didn't get into other things like employment and how it affects, housing, and that there's just other things. But you did allude to that in the conversation, and really, again, that goes back to mindset and
It, it,
support systems.
it does. It does. And I think a lot of people, when I tell them I had two jobs when I was on dialysis, working 60 hours, they kind of drop their jaw and say, "Yeah, how did you do that?" I just kept pushing. You know, I didn't
Yeah.
really worry about it, I just kept moving.
You're an incredible story, Anthony. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing and giving us at least a little piece into who you are, what you are doing, and really what your your little piece of virtual space over here with your website and your community, and now your conference, and how it continues to grow. It's
Yeah.
amazing. You mentioned a book too. The book.
Uh, we
You have
we
some
have
books
a
on there. Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a book. It's the I don't know about this, a patient's first initial dialysis treatment,
That's
that
cool.
was written by our own COO, Dwellin Williams.
Oh,
It's a graphic novel.
yes.
That actually, and this is the great thing about with COVID, everything shut down. You can't go into a dialysis clinic like you used to, but now you can if you get the book, because you can actually it'll take you through step by step what the main character of the story AW is actually going through from the needle stick into the chair and kind of see what it is, and
Wow.
it's not just one book. We got several books coming out,
I
so
love it.
several graphic novels coming out. We got some other great. We're working with several different authors, and you're gonna see those books come out as well.
I'm so excited. So many great things going on over at Kidney Trails. Please show your support to Anthony and Kidney Trails. Check out his website. They've got merch. Support the conference. Consider sponsoring his the summit. There's just so many different ways. Connect with him, follow him. Social media, how can individuals connect with you, where they can follow you? I know you're all over. I had to even I finally found you on Twitter. So
So we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, LinkedIn, of course, and TikTok. believe it or not.
TikTok. Oh, I'd love to see
Yeah,
some TikToks.
I'm not a very good TikToker, I'll tell you that. But
Right, get
we do
that kidney
post. It's
merch.
we did post the partnership video, the new partner that we have coming up, and that's kind of what we do.
Can you talk a
And we
little
got
bit
our
about
YouTube
that?
channel too.
Yes, and the YouTube channel. So this will be on your YouTube channel, I hope.
Yeah,
But thank you so much. Get the kidney merch. I love it. So important. Your story, the work you're doing, it's so important. And just so many moving parts, so many amazing people that are part of this. I'm so excited. I'm glad that I've been able to kind of penetrate in here and get to know some of y'all and really start because it's amazing that it's really genuine, right? It's really heartfelt. It really comes from a place of encouraging others to feel safe, to feel whole, to have their dignity, to really feel like, you know, you don't have to give up. Don't give
no,
up. Don't
no.
give up.
No, and some people think that I'm different because I had kidney disease. Not really. It's just a different challenge. It just there's no difference in between what you and I have been through. Other than that, there's different challenges. You know,
Love
dialysis.
that.
There's things that you've been through that I've never been through, but it is that has grown you to where you're at. Same here. No difference.
I love it. Great message. Amazing, inspirational. Definitely a great speaker. I've just been so honored that you actually decided, you said yes to my invitation and sharing everything that's going on. So, again, thank you. All right, we're going to close up shop here. If any end of final questions from the chat, if not, Anthony, we're going to let you get on with your afternoon, your evening, take care of your family, paying attention to the phone in case something comes through. And then just keep doing the amazing work that you're doing. So
Yeah, well, we
thank you for
appreciate.
the information
Yeah,
for tonight and really bringing me some just some awareness to myself too. It's not easy to just kind of sit in this chair and then host and have these different kinds of conversations because I talk about different things, so it's not like obviously I don't know everything about everything. So you really provided a lot of great information for me about kidney disease and kidney awareness and why we're here.
well, I
So
appreciate
thank
the
you.
invite. It's been an honor.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. We're gonna go ahead and put out our little outro and say goodnight to everyone. Good night, everyone. Thank
Good
you.
night. Thank you.